Last night a bitch nigga shot a real nigga. But we don't make no diss records, we just deal with it. Plus I be going through a lot, I never talk about it. And they using niggas songs in court, so I can't talk about it. Rap niggas think I'm dumb, like I don't see the play. I let them think they got the ups, to get them out the way. On FaceTime, my brother telling me he shot my mama, telling me to chill, but I know he seen that nigga face. But that's enough about that part. Talking about respect, well, it's a must about that part. Playing with my money, well, then it's up about that part. Cause when it's time to play ball, don't give a fuck about that part. They know I'm that nigga when they see me. Her man crush been a hater, her little brother won't beat me. Her friend been on my dick since I was passing out CDs. Her baby daddy a mark and her boyfriend probably a weenie. 3,300 on my book bag. Left some niggas in the past, but I don't look back. Shit kinda different, I ain't the man that I was. I seen death in too many forms and I ain't never really shook that. Don't let him rock you to sleep, true colors better believe him. I know that God got me, but I be riding with my reaper. Praying with my kids and even then I got my heater. And I be stepping so hard, this hoes in $1,000 sneakers. Take your bitch when I meet her and you ain't seen her in about 3 days. Knew I was a threat, I passed that stick like a relay. Spin it back to back, it's like a motherfucking replay. Turn your son into a bitch when I shoot, I think I'm D-Wade. Told him I'm a savage, if I want it, I'ma have it. Playing with my lettuce, cook your head like a cabbage. Tell them that I'm rich and I'm solid, that's the advantage. Bitch, bad kids, fresh little nigga, you can't stand it. Tell them big checks, yardsticks, not a roof. All I smoke is Opps and I don't never smoke a hookah. Looking for a blessing that's worth it, Jesus and Judas. Tell them niggas game 6, my whole team full of shooters. I slide on a nigga like a motherfucking flip-flop. Pressure on your homie and I promise he a flip-flop. Talking that wookie-woo, something. I know the police listen, so I ain't really saying nothing. I know these niggas envy, they can't manage how they feel. Jealousy's for bitches, you niggas pussy for real. A nigga get the drop and he happen to shoot. First we heal up and get back. We ain't going on the shirt, I swear to God.
Now woo-de-woo, something. Know the police listen, so I ain't saying nothing. Talking now woo-de-woo, something. Nigga cock back and aim and leave you bleeding where you running. Swear to God, nigga.
What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in TNN Trap News Network. Back in the same, like cook cracking the same here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college regard. Hit the like, hit the comment, hit the get subscribe button for everything we have going on here at TNN Trap News Network. It's a new thing you can use. It's a knowledge though. You're not finna get nobody's college though, big dog. Tap in with the tap in and make sure you are in fact tapped in with that good tap in. And Rich Trapper getting into that's good news you can use. Good knowledge though. You ain't finna get nobody's college though, man. Today I want to show some love to Between the Lines. This is where we getting this one from. It's a new one that I've been watching, man. It's about how this young man father took him on a mission to get revenge on his rivals. He got shot by gang members. His father took him on a revenge mission. So we finna jump into this, Contiana. He was shot by rival gangs and his dad, by gang members' dad took him to get revenge, and now they both got elbows. Interesting conversation. South Central way of living. We finna see what's going on here, man. Let's jump into it. Let's go.
10 days after coming home, my father when I was 16 years old, I was shot by a rival gang member. My father at the time was in prison, and 2 months after I got shot, he came home. And 10 days after coming home, my father took me to murder the rival gang member who shot me. First and foremost, what's your name and where you from, bro? My name's Tyson. I'm from San Bernardino, California.
What brings you here today?
What brings me here is a full circle moment for me. I was incarcerated for the last 18 and some change years, and I spent the majority of my time while incarcerated right here in this prison, right here in 2 building and in 5 building to be exact.
Man, how long you been out?
I've been out now 35 days today.
So you've been out 35 days and you're already back in volunteering?
Yeah, 35 days, man. And it was an opportunity to come back in and kind of inspire this community and to bring hope. And I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be in here hopeless, but to have people come back in and to show you that this is possible, that it's possible to lead this space.
Right. No, absolutely, man. That is beautiful. It's beautiful to have you here. So how'd you hear about this program?
So I was, as soon as I got out, just like everyone was telling me to contact the CRM, contact Erica Lake. So I reached out. She ended up emailing me back, and she told me that she was bringing in some athletes in Between the Lines. And since I've been out, I've been on Instagram, and I just see y'all all over the place. So I'm all like, okay. I had never ran into you inside prison, but I seen you, and I'm like, okay, this is some dope stuff right here. And that's how I first got really up on Between the Lines. And so it's amazing to be here now being interviewed by you.
Man, no, it's amazing to interview, bro. It's
This is a pretty dope concept. I wonder how they get clearance from the jail to do that.
Such an honor, for real, for you to join us here today. If you don't mind discussing, and feel free to tell me next question, But what were you down for originally?
I was arrested for murder. When I was 16 years old, I was shot by a rival gang member. My father at the time was in prison, and 2 months after I got shot, he came home. And 10 days after coming home, my father took me to murder the rival gang member who shot me. I went to prison with both my parents, my mother and father. My mother was arrested on unrelated charges, but related charges to the case.
Bro said, I went to jail with both my parents.
But not charged with murder with us. And so I found myself at 16 years old fighting a life sentence with both my parents. Ultimately, I was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole in 2008. And after getting sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, I just came to prison and I decided to make changes in my life. I made changes in my life and I grew up. This was my place where God really matured me and helped me become a man. And my father ultimately made it to this prison in 2019, but unfortunately he OD'd on BR and passed away less than 100 yards away from me. And I went on a journey. I ended up going because I had family who worked in this prison, I ended up going to the hole, leaving this prison, going up to Solano, and ultimately...
Can you imagine this is your relationship with your father, and like you watch him lose a life after taking a life and all that? Like, bro, this is trauma. Like, none of this is actual normalcy. This is a very traumatic situation that this guy's going through. Hush. This is a very traumatic situation that this guy's going through, and the fact that he's even made it out this far is amazing.
I was commuted. Though last year by Governor Newsom, and then I went to board in October, was found suitable, and today I'm here. Today I'm back in. Yeah.
Man, that is a crazy story, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow, I did not expect that. So, I mean, at the age of 16, your father getting out of prison 10 days later, he takes you to go murder the individual that shot you.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you had any choice in that moment, or?
In that moment, I had took away my own choices, right? Who I had chose to be, who I had chose to become, the reputation I was trying to uphold for myself told me that I had to do what I did. But the reality was that I did have choices, and I made poor ones at that time in my life. I know my father was with me. My father took me. Did his presence play a role? Yes. He was my idol. He was the person I looked up to. He was the person I wanted to be just like my whole life. But at the end of the day, I like to take responsibility for my actions and know that...
Hey, that's real accountability, man. Because all you gotta do is take accountability for you. You cannot change you as a problem if you don't acknowledge that you yourself are the problem. So he has great accountability.
Know that I made a decision to take another young man's life and I was wrong.
Now, do you have any message to that individual specifically?
Yeah,
His family?
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I recognize today that, like, there were so many other options to handle the situation that we had found ourselves in, and I made the worst decision. And I destroyed a family. I took a son, and I contributed to a lifetime of violence that's plaguing my community, and I was wrong. And I just want them to know that I understand that today, and I'm sorry.
I think it's interesting, right? Like a lot.
Nah, man. I mean, some people will feel like he doesn't deserve a second chance. Some people will feel like this. Some people don't feel like that. I mean, I feel like that's all for God to decide, and all he can do now is better with the situation that's being presented to him.
A lot of people on the outside who have things to say about individuals who find themselves incarcerated can't understand what it's like to grow up in a war zone, where in certain moments it's you or me.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out a way to kind of cope with that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not safe when you walk outside your door. So that is something that is very serious, and a lot of people, like I said, can't relate to that. But even through all of that, having lived through that, you still find a way to take accountability.
Yeah.
And I think that's a amazing thing, man. Clearly,
that's another thing too. Like, these are circumstantial situations. He's not just going out unaliving people, like he said, man. This is like you can't judge some of these kids growing up in South Central no more than you could judge some of these kids growing up in a third world country where war is all around them. Sometimes you are just forced into it.
You've shown remorse. Clearly, you were found suitable. and you were able to find your freedom.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's something that's also interesting to me in this situation is that you say you looked up to your father,
Yeah.
even though he had a reputation prior to getting out, right? He had served time in prison, and you still looked up to him. So it shows the importance of rehabilitating individuals while they're inside so that they can teach those that look up to them.
Most definitely, most definitely.
And that's why I commend you so much coming back here, brother. Like being somebody who has served this time, you could run far away from this place and never come back.
Yeah.
But you still...
That's another dope thing too. Like, man, you could definitely have just got on, took your time, did your time, and been about your business. But you taking time out of your freedom to give back to people who don't have their liberation. So I can respect that for sure.
You'll find it in your spirit and your heart to come here and mentor those who are not where you are on their journey.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
How much does that mean to you?
It means the world. Like, I think you made a ton of important points even in your breakdown there. And the first one is that my father entered this system in 1970. And when my father entered this system, he didn't have this. He didn't have the programs. He didn't have between the lines coming in, and rehabilitation wasn't the focus. And therefore, every time he came into this system, he often left worse than he came. And one thing I wanted to make sure I did while I was here is that any positive opportunity I had, I took advantage of it, because I recognized how important it was for me to be accountable for who I was going to become in my future. And I recognize the reason why I'm so accountable and I try to remain accountable for all of my actions is because I recognize that accountability is what's going to shift my community.
That's real. If you can't acknowledge that you have a problem, you can't take accountability for the problem, you cannot change the problem.
It's going to shift the culture in a lot of our communities around the country. And I think we have to go in and we have to show that every decision we make is important to the young people, even to the men here today. I was just telling them on the sideline that, like, you guys have to control the culture here, because the way you control the culture will determine the blessings that flow from this space, right? I was blessed by this yard, and I was blessed because other men on this yard had made decisions to control the culture, to be intentional about the way they presented themselves and the way they matured and showed other young men how to mature. And so I just find that important to come back and share that same message with them, because I know how important it was for me. And I know how important it's going to be if we want to get rid of these systems and get rid of these spaces and these places, because I don't think nobody should be in prison.
That's real, man. That's real. Now, I want to ask you something about legacy, right? And what you want to be remembered for.
Yeah.
So when you dead and gone and up out of here, what do you want people to say about you? What do you want to be remembered for?
I think about this often, but I really want to be remembered as being a good person, a man of God, a man who may have made some bad decisions early in his life, but he carried out the story of redemption to its fullest. I was at a graduation last night for USC. A brother who I spent time with on this yard graduated from SC, and I'm sitting.
That's super dope. Congratulations to that, man.
Sitting there, and I'm realizing, like, this opportunity is even before me. And I want to be remembered as a person who took advantage of every opportunity that he had, but most importantly, that in the taking advantage of opportunities, that I impacted my community and the world in which I live. That I left a bright spot and a smile and a sense of joy and happiness and life in the life of others. And so that's what I want to be remembered for.
Absolutely, and you will, man, for real.
Thank you.
And you will. So inspired by your story, bro, for real, and I appreciate you sharing, man.
I appreciate
you being so vulnerable in this moment.
No problem. I appreciate this opportunity.
Anything else you want to say?
Just thank you, man. Just thank you. And I thank God right now for this space, this opportunity. I thank my family and everyone who supported me along my journey.
Man, that was an incredible story, bro. Can you imagine that? Your father took you on your mission to bust your 1-2 step like Sierra, then you watch your father expire in penitentiary based off drugs and all kind of stuff. But he on the streets and he got his liberation, so he doing what he got to do to make the world a better place, though. So we up out here to the next one. Y'all know the deal, those red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. It's free. I have no agent tweets free.